There's a lot of talk now about how education doesn't change people's beliefs. And all I can say to that is it's not good enough for some people, because I would be a hypocrite and in total denial to not realize that education changed my life. Learning about systemic issues and how they operate changed how I view the world and how I approach problem solving. But it doesn't for a lot of people. And I have wondered for a while if it's rooted in this, if it's rooted in being raised in deep Catholicism, where, you're taught the first shall be last, the last shall be first. Catholicism outside of the United States is very socially conservative, but fiscally liberal. I'm not talking about the overall church itself. I'm talking about the teachings of the church for the everyday person. It is not uncommon to have priests who are part of an order who have taken a vow of poverty, or sisters. The Beatitudes are very important. Again, the Vatican has a lot of decorations that talk about the beliefs for the everyday person. And you can talk about education, you can talk about travel, I was talking to a woman in London who's married to a white man from Texas, and she was like, when we met, he was kind of your stereotypical Texan, but now he's very progressive. She's like, but I think he's seen more of the world now. Like, he has a better eye for seeing propaganda. Like, when you see other people's propaganda, you can see more of your own. And he's met more people, and he has, a deeper understanding of the world. And yet, obviously, the top 2%, the billionaire class, also travels a lot and has a lot of education. And that doesn't do it for them either. So I don't really have an answer as much of them using, because there's a lot of Exangelicals who have talked about, especially who are my age, who are millennials, who have talked about that it is because of their faith that they became so progressive, even though their family was very conservative. And I remember one who's an author, I don't remember her name, it's the book The Exangelicals, I'll find a photo and put it here, who had an example that resonated with me so much. She's like, we are the age that is old enough to remember how much of a scandal it was for Bill Clinton and Monica, which was fucked up, but not for the reasons that it was talked about in the 90s, right? But because of the power imbalance and the age difference. But that was such a scandal that he cheated on his wife and grab him by the pussy was just too much of a hypocrisy for a lot of us who really believes in our faith and who grew up with the kind of purity culture and standards that we had, to then completely throw them out the door. It's just clearly like it didn't happen for everyone, right? So like, what's the difference? And I've read Jesus and John Wayne. I think it's a great book. I know all the other cultural norms that we have had to normalize the John Wayne figure over the actual Jesus figure. And I think some aspects of maybe why that didn't work for me was I don't have a very machismo father. Like, I have a very masculine father, but I don't have a machismo father. Granted, he is still a conservative practicing Catholic. But I think that maybe that kind of John Wayne figure wasn't as normalized for me. But my family was super heavy on gender roles too. So, I don't know, just musings about, it's interesting you can have such similar experiences and circumstances and beliefs and have totally different outcomes. Role of the environment, I know, groundbreaking psychology here.